It's time for Tread on Sports. Highlights from recent Lobo games, plus coaches' comments and player reactions. If there's time, we'll touch on local high school events and even have some comments on professional sports and teams of interest to New Mexico sports fans. Tread on Sports is an original production of Dana TV in cooperation with ProView Sports Channel 26. And now, here's Tread, your host for Tread on Sports.
Welcome to Tread on Sports here on ProView Sports Channel 26. I'm Tread. We've got an action-packed episode ready for you today. We're going to be looking at recent men and women's games against Air Force, some track and field, a Gladiators press conference, and the hotel press conference from Coach Neal that everyone has been talking about. But we're going to get right to it with some Air Force highlights. And Mike Hill's going to drive, get the bucket, and one, and that starts the scoring here against the Falcons. Vanderkill has one-on-one coverage, knocks the defender down, and gets the points. Here, Keller is going to get the nice block. Bennett's going to travel before this shot, but they give her 2 points for it. And Mariah Ford from Belen, back in action in the pit, gives the Falcons a 13-12 lead late in the first. Here, Cherise is going to make a nice read and get the ball up, and she makes it. Hannah's going to go quick to the post, beat her defender, and that's going to close out the scoring in the first quarter. Lobos would lead 22-19. And in that first quarter, Cherise led the Lobos with 7 points, and Dee Bennett led the Falcons with 6. Cherise Porter from Air Force is going to knock down that three to tie the game earlier in the second, but Cherise says, you know what, I don't care, and knocks down a three of her own. Hannah's going to continue her nice game as she has nice hands here with the catch and then puts it back up and in. Cherise is showing she can do multiple things as she goes quick, drives, and then pulls up with the floater with the defender in her face. Bryant's going to hit this three in transition off a nice pass from Cherise, and then Hannah is going to get a block similar to the one that we saw from Keller. She had a little bit of attitude at the end of that one too. The score at halftime was 41-31. Cherise was leading the Lobos with 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. The bench combo between Hannah Shervin and Leanna Bryant was spectacular as they combined for 12 in that first half. If Vanderkill Zolnia has solo coverage, she's going to score most times. And here we see her get 2 tries with solo coverage as Kiana's going to be able to get the first rebound and then get it back into VDK as she backs down and gets the easy layup with her right hand. This three by Davis is going to bring Air Force a little bit closer, but they never really threatened for the rest of the game as Brian's going to find Vanderkill down here. Cherise goes backdoor as she gets the pass from Bavero and lays it in. Hannah gets a great post move as she steps around her defender and lays it in with the right hand. The crowd really likes her. Cherise, great ball handling in transition, can't get the layup to go, but who else? Hannah Shervin is there, and her teammates appreciate that. You're going to see Bryant knock down a three here on a great play design. Shout out to Hannah for the nice screen. 66-43 Lobos led at the end of the third. That bench combo we spoke about earlier, Hannah Shervin and Lene Bryant, had 9 points combined in that quarter, which was one better than Vanderkill had in that quarter. She had 8 to bring her total to 14. Cherise, however, had 20 points for the game at the end of the third and was really starting to fill up the stat sheet. Let's keep that in mind and see what she can finish for her total line. Hannah is going to continue her dominant game in the fourth as we see her get 2 quick buckets, one with her left hand here off the assist from Cherise, and then the second being left wide open underneath the bucket. The bench combo is going to continue to be successful as Brian is going to knock down this three. Another great pass from Cherise. And of course, who else but Hannah Shervin finishing off the game. And of course, it was another great pass from Cherise. The final here was 81-64. While the Lobos were led by Cherise Beynon, who had the first triple-double for the women's team since 1979, the bench also came up strong. 2 players who have had inconsistent minutes all year, Hannah Shervin and Linnea Bryant, were able to really have success this game. Hannah and Linnea combined for 32 points on 11 of 13 shooting, 8 boards, and Bryant chipped in 2 assists as well. While it has come against some of the weaker opponents the Lobos have played all year, Hannah Shervin has really been playing out of her mind lately. If the Lobos want to have success down the stretch and even into the Mountain West Conference tournament, they're going to need their bench players to step up just like this. After the game, we caught up with Coach Bradbury to hear what he had to say about these great performances from his players.
I think we came out, we were in the right frame of mind. We had the proper approach mentally to this game, and we needed that. I thought for the most part we were good defensively. Lost our discipline there a couple times, but for the most part, we were pretty good defensively.
With the Lobos playing a significant amount of man defense in this game, which is atypical for this squad, I asked Coach what the rules were in terms of switching.
Well, we played mostly man tonight. We switched ball screens and handoffs, and that was it.
With that being the first triple-double recorded in over 30 years for this program, we asked Coach what he thought of his star player's performance.
Yeah, she was good. I think, especially offensively, she got a good handle of the game early on. She scored some for us early, and then kind of recognized that our post players were having a pretty good day, and I think she exploited that pretty good.
With Hannah having a successful game, going 7 of 8 from the field, we asked Coach if he thinks she'll be able to repeat this performance in later games.
Hannah was good today. When Hannah doesn't get overwhelmed with athleticism and size, she's skilled. She can score down there. Sometimes there's certain games that she can get a little overwhelmed with that stuff. But, yeah, she was good tonight, and we needed her because some reason Rochelle was fouling, they said.
Also off the bench, Lene Bryant had a strong game. We asked Coach if he thinks she can also replicate this performance.
I thought she was good tonight. Again, she's a lot like in the same situation with Hannah a little bit. When she doesn't get overwhelmed with size and athleticism, she's skilled. She's a good player, and I thought she was really good tonight. Had to play a lot of minutes and at different positions too. So I thought she was good. And what was really encouraging, she made threes tonight. And when she plays, that's what she needs to be able to do. And she struggled a little bit, but tonight, she was, she made them.
Mike out, maybe she could be the three-point shooter you've been looking for, depending on the game, like you said, size and other situations, but yeah. She was making them.
Yeah, if Mike's out, then yeah, she's going to play. I mean, we're down. We don't have anybody else play. I mean, like there's nobody left, so you just play who's available, coach who's available.
After talking with Coach, we caught up with the two big performers of the night. But first things first, we had to ask about that triple-double, and we asked Cherise what it felt like to just hear she had accomplished that milestone.
I feel great about it. My teammates, give it all credit to them, Hannah, Rochelle, and then Linnea making all their shots helped me get the assists. I feel like some games I got so close, and then tonight I finally was able to get it. It's a good feeling.
I then asked Cherise if she knew she was closing in on the triple-double, or if anyone on the bench let her know how close she was late in the game.
No, I didn't know for sure. I would sometimes peek up, but I didn't know for sure. I know the rebounds and points are easier for me to get, but on the assists, no, I didn't really know. One of my teammates was trying to, but I can't focus on it too much because then I'm not gonna be as disciplined if I'm focusing on my numbers. So no.
I continued to ask her questions and then asked if this was her first triple-double ever, or if she's had a history of this kind of success.
Get a triple-double. In high school, I did a lot. I averaged 9 assists, 10 assists in high school. So, yeah, I did in high school, but it's so different when you get to college. It's much harder to even try to get it. So,
congratulations.
Thank you.
While she was able to fill up the stat sheet, she also registered a couple turnovers. We asked her what she thought contributed to these.
So I just was going too fast. I was just trying to go so fast and try to get a quick bucket, and the goal was to get it in the middle. So he was just telling me to slow down. So that's still what I'm working on. So quick adjustment, like we did out of the huddle.
Not pictured in that highlight package was a technical foul picked up by Coach Bradbury late in the game. We asked Cherise what she thought led to the technical.
No, I don't. He's very animated on the sideline, so could have been anything. Yeah, he could have, but he's just sticking up for us. That's what I always think. So that's probably what he was doing, because he was sticking up for one of us.
After Cherise, we were able to talk to Hannah, and we asked her how it felt to have a breakout performance like this.
It's exciting. Like I said last time, like our teammates are the best for like letting you know how you've done. It feels good to like come off the court. I didn't know like how many points I had or what my stats were until the game was over and they were all happy for me. It just feels really good.
With Hannah being a freshman, she was asked if, being later in the season, she's more ready to play in the D1 game as she's gotten stronger and more repetition in practice against a higher level of competition.
High school to college is like a huge transition in the post because the physicality is just, it's a whole different level. So I think I'm adjusting as we progress and I need to step up. So
Multiple times during this game, Hannah was excited. She got in players' faces in a good way, and she showed an emotional spark that this team hasn't shown all year. I asked her if this is something that she consistently does.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't know. I think when stuff like that happens, it's easy to get like excited for your teammates and for yourself because it's just something that happens when a good play. I mean, I don't know about practice though.
With this game coming on the heels of her other great performance in the Northern New Mexico game, we asked her what she thought was contributing to her getting more minutes.
I think it's just matchups, like he said. His plan works very well, so I trust him, and when he chooses to play me, I just have to step up and use every minute as I can.
The men's matchup against the Air Force Falcons was a little bit more competitive. For the second time this month, the Lobos were in a game that featured 13 ties, and 13 must be their lucky number because, again, they were able to prevail. This was the first victory at Air Force since the 2011-2012 season. Sam Logwood was the surprise performer of the night as he was able to put up 17 points and 6 rebounds on 11 shots from the field. Surprise performer of the night seems to be something that 4 or 5 Lobos have been passing around lately, and you never know who it's going to be. Brown wasn't able to get many to drop from the field as he was only 3 of 13, but he did make 6 of 7 from the free throw line to finish with 13 points. Seeing his first action since breaking his nose and being in concussion protocol, Dane Kuiper got 12 points from the field, all off of 4 threes. When we come back to Tread on Sports, we're going to be looking at the collegiate track and field meet recently and at the Gladiators press conference. Stay tuned to ProView 26.